My name is Pascual Castaneda Gonzales. I go to Butler Traditional High School, and I've been in the Whitney Young Scholars Program for 4 years. Whitney M. Young Jr., American Civil Rights Activist by Pascual Castaneda Gonzales. Did you know that Whitney M. Young Jr. was an advisor to Presidents Johnson and Nixon? He was even offered a cabinet position from Nixon but refused. In 1968, President Lyndon Johnson awarded Whitney M. Young Jr. the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor. I'm going to be informing you about the man who fought for American civil rights and developed the domestic Marshall Plan. I have looked at government-owned websites, listened to a speech done by Whitney M. Young Jr., and watched a PBS documentary about him. First, I will describe his birthplace and education. Second, I will examine his impact on American civil rights. Third, I will discuss his death in Nigeria. Whitney M. Young Jr. was born in Lincoln Ridge, Kentucky in 1921. His father, Whitney M. Young Sr., was an educator. His mother was the first African American postmaster in Kentucky. He attended Kentucky State and earned his master's degree from the University of Minnesota in social network. He worked on a road crew during World War II, and after the war, he became executive director of the National Urban League. Second, I will be examining his impact on American civil rights. He developed the Domestic Marshall Plan, a strategy to close the wealth gap between black and white Americans. His plan influenced President Johnson's war on poverty. He partnered with Martin Luther King Jr., Roy Wilkins, and James Farmer. He pushed voting rights and racial equality. Third, I will discuss his death in Lagos, Nigeria on March 11, 1971. He drowned while swimming with friends while he was there for a conference. President Nixon had his body flown back to the U.S., where he delivered a speech at his funeral. In the speech, Nixon praised his work. He said, "What monument do we build to him? He leaves his own monument, not one but thousands of men and women in his own race who will have a chance, an equal chance, that they otherwise wouldn't have except for what he did." I have informed you about Whitney M. Young Jr.'s birthplace and education, his impact on American civil rights, and his death in Lagos, Nigeria on March 11, 1971. In conclusion, Whitney M. Young Jr. was a civil rights activist, was a World War II veteran, earned a master's degree in social network, and was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom.